morning po sa ating lahat. I hope na na-bless kayo sa isang linggo na naman na hindi tayo nagkita. Hindi tayo nagkita pero andun pa rin yung kamustahan sana during the week. No? It's a delight to see you once again. Ako ay nandito na naman po para magpahayag ng salita ng Diyos. And before kami magpahayag ng salita ng Diyos, may gusto kami i-share. Kasi 2 weeks ago, October 6 to 9, wala kami dito sa Pilipinas. So, we went to Hong Kong. Alam naman po natin na ang naririnig natin mga balita sa Hong Kong medyo magulo. Marami pong protesta, marami pong kaganapan na nagaganap doon na hindi kaaya-aya. And even for Christians doon, parang nahihirapan sila. Even yung pagpunta sa Sunday service, hirap sila dahil walang access, walang MTR, walang bus. So minsan, even yung daanan, papasok ng church, hindi sila makapunta dahil sobrang dami nung nag-block doon sa kanilang simbahan. Pero hindi yun naging balakid para kami magpatuloy sa aming training. So nandito kami para mag-training. Yung evangelism trainings or tinatawag nila na witnessing as a way of life. Or dati na evangelism explosion. Tapos dinago nila, naging everyday evangelism or EV2, tapos naging WWL, witnessing as a way of life. So yun. Our short but meaningful Hong Kong trip. Kasi ito ay sila. 5 days lang kami nasa Hong Kong, but it was very meaningful. Talagang sa amin ni Jeff, naging life-changing siya. Hindi lang yung experience namin na face-to-face yung mga nagpo-protesta, but also yung learning how to share the Word of God. And yun din, para ma-train namin yung ibang tao how to share the Word of God. And we pray na magamit namin ito, especially in our church. So, yan. Sumalang namin siya yung mga kuha ni Jeff na talagang nasa tapat namin yung mga nagpo-protesta. Talagang nagpo-vandalize sila sa kalsada. Yan, nagtitipo na sila. Police station kasi yung medyo malapit dun sa event place namin. So, nandun sila, nagtitipo na. So, yan, yung mga establishment nila, pinavandalize even yung mga banks. Ang nakakatawa, sinisira nila yung mga ATM machine, yung mga salamin, mga Bank of China, mga China Construction Bank. Pero hindi nila kinukuha yung pera. Or even yung mga grocery, sinisira lang nila. Pero yung andun pa rin yung mga grocery, actually pwede kang kumuha gano'n. Pero alam naman natin may CCTV. Pero we are Christians. So, hindi kami kumuha. Nakita namin yung mga tinapay na nakaano lang, uy, sayang to parang libre to Pero no, we believe that we are Christian and is healing. So, yun, it's very meaningful. So, yan yung witnessing is a way of life. Konti lang kami. It's the first WWL na naganap dito naganap for Asia. So, maraming nandun. May mga OFW na nag-attend, mga nagtatrabaho sa Hong Kong, mga domestic helpers sila. Tapos may mga Malaysian couple, and there's also taga-local, Hong Kong Chinese. So, actually, maraming nagpa-register na taga-Hong Kong. Pero dahil nga dun sa protesta na nangyari, maraming hindi nakatay. But we are still blessed. Kasi, yan, isang example that we are able to share, one of the people that we are able to share. So, we went out to practice what we were trained for. So, yan, nakapag-share kami. Along the kalsada lang. Tapos nakita kami, ay, message helper ko. And then share. So yun, share na kami. And she prayed to receive Christ. And hindi lang yun. Tapos along the way pa, naka-encounter pa kami, 3 sila magkakaibigan. So dahil day off, so nakapag-share na naman kami. And we're so blessed na talagang na-experience namin yung presence ni God with us. And yun, yan. Medyo malabo, pero we were able to receive our certificates that were parang kami, certified to train also others sa kaganapan niya. So, yan, konti lang kami, but it's very, fruitful ministry. And we believe, and we are praying that we can use it here in SBCC. So, maybe we can pray for it. And, yeah, we are grateful. It is a short, minsan may problema, especially kailangan namin maglakad ng 2 kilometro. Although parang malaking sila yun, pero dahil na naging convenient na doon sa Hong Kong, parang MTR bus, and dahil sa mga protesta, nawala yun. We are forced to walk, going back and forth, every time na kami uuwi. And hindi masaya yung pakiramdam na may encounter mo. At first, excited yun, uy, wow, bago to mga nagpo-protesta. Pero nung nandiyan na sa tapat namin, nung binubugbog na, kinabahan na kami, nag-detour na kami. So, dahil naman, kabisada naman namin yung Hong Kong, so ito na kami, tapos niwas na kami sa gulo. And I hope that we can continue to pray for Hong Kong. Kasi hindi lamang po mga Chinese Hong Kongers yung mga naapektuhan nito, but also yung mga kababayan natin na Pilipino na nagtatrabaho doon. Yung mga iba na hindi na nakaka-uwi dahil na-stranded, walang masakyan. And yung iba, natatakot sa kanilang safety. And kahit kami, natatakot din kami. Although ako, hindi ko pinapakita kay Chef, parang sasabi ko sa akin, oh, sige, picture Pero deep inside, medyo may takot ako. Kasi anytime they can, parang pwede nila kami limaw. Pero dahil hindi naman kami nakaitin, kagaya ngayon, nakaitin kami. So, we're protected by God's grace. So, yun. It's short but meaningful. So now, let's go back to our trip. To our message for today. So, our message for today can be read in 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 6 to 15. So, 2 Corinthians, not 1 Corinthians, chapter 9, verse 6 to 15. So, let us read. Remember these. Whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly. And whoever sows generously will also reap generously. Each of you should give what you have decided in your heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion. For God loves a cheerful giver. And God is able to bless you abundantly, so that in all things, at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work. As it is written, they have freely scattered their gift to the poor. Their righteousness endures forever. Now he who supplies seed to the sower and bread for food will also supply and increase your store of seed, and will enlarge the harvest of your righteousness. You will be enriched in every way, so that you can be generous on every occasion. And through us, your generosity will result in thanksgiving to God. This service that you perform is not only supplying the needs of the Lord's people, but is also overflowing in many expressions of thanks to God. Because of the service by which you have been proved yourself, others will praise God for the obedience that accompanies your confession of the gospel of Christ, and for your generosity in sharing them and with everyone else. And in their prayers for you, their hearts will go out to you, because of the surpassing grace God has given you. Thanks be to God for His indescribable gift. That's so good. Father God, thank you, Lord, for being able to read your word freely. Thank you, Lord, for His blessing, Panginoon, na aming nare-receive bawat araw. Naman po ay material na blessing, spiritual, emotional, Panginoon. Thank you, Lord, for having this. Sometimes na nakakalimutan po namin, or sometimes na neglect po namin yung mga pagpapala niyo po sa amin sa bawat araw. Lord, forgive us, and may we confess everything to you, Lord. even as we fail to give to you, Lord, faithfully. Pray, O God, sa oras na to, Lord, pray, O God, that you will touch our hearts so that whatever the word that we will hear today, that we will apply it in our lives. Panginoon, maraming po salamat pagkat bagamat kami ay hindi tapat, at ikaw, Lord Diyos namin, ay tapat. Panginoon. Tapat ngayon, tapat bukas, at yung habang panahon. Maraming po salamat sa inyong kabutihan sa aming buhay. Because of you, we can have assurance, Lord, that our future is bright and our future will be good. We pray for everything in Jesus' name. Amen. So, base dun sa binasa pa lang natin, makikita na natin kung saan yung topic ko. No? Marami sa atin parang nanlimited na or nagtatago because we are not being faithful to our giving. So, yun ang ating topic today. Giving is loving, or loving is giving. Diba po? Do you agree? Yes, especially those meron kang love language ng gift. Pagka ikaw ay nakakatanggap ng kahit maliit na regalo, parang ikaw ay tuwang-tuwa. And you feel loved by that person. Hindi lang sa crush mo, but also to the people that you love, sa mga pamilya natin, sa mga anak. Alam ko yung mga nanay natin, kahit maliit na bagay na niya, pero pag tayo, binigyan tayo ng anak natin, parang, Lord, thank you, Lord, for my daughter, for my son, na nagbigay nito, na I feel love. I feel you love me because of this. So, ganun, no? So, pero, marami sa atin, ang nakakalimutan minsan magbigay sa Panginoon. And, how many of us are prioritizing our needs before prioritizing God? Tanong ko lang po, how many of us parang nag-sign up na for insurance, life insurance, yung mga Prudential Life, Manulife, Sun Life, lahat ng Life. So maraming mga uso ngayon yan, no? Mga, uy, mag-invest ka dito kasi pagka nag-invest ka dito, makukuha mo dito in the future. Or kung sakaling may mangyari sa'yo, you are assured na whatever happened to you will be taken care of this company. Na ikaw ay alagaan, ikaw ay bibigyan ng panggamot mo, bibigyan ka ng compensation kung sakaling ikaw ay kunin na ni Lord. So, ganito yung mga selling point nila, no? But minsan nakakalimutan natin that there is a much better insurance giver, di ba? Ang Diyos natin. Minsan nakakalimutan natin na magbigay sa Kanya. And naaalala ko noon, unang sweldo ko as an engineer, Lord, ang hirap ibigay. Kahit 10% lang, kahit 5% lang, nagbabargain pa ka, Lord, sige na, 5% lang muna ngayon. Next month, gagawin kong 10% na. Mahirap po. Alam ko po ang karamihan sa atin, yun ang nasa puso. Kasi sabi naman sa Bible, as long as we give wholeheartedly or cheerfully, it is acceptable to God. Pero, ang tanong, yung binibigay ba natin, yun yung ina-ask sa atin ng Diyos. So, marami sa atin are failing in that aspect. And yun itong mga insurance na to, it helps us to be assured. Yun yung selling point nila, no? You can be assured na kung ano man nangyari sa'yo, the company will pay. So, para sa atin, ng mga nag-sign up na sa mga ganyan, how can you be sure na kung sakaling kunin ka ni Lord, pababayaran nga yung pamilya mo, di ba? Because you don't know what will happen to them. Kasi we are already in presence of God. So, not only in the regards, ito yung mga passion nila, not only in the regards of death or accident, na we can benefit from these companies. Sinasabi nila merong nice investment kung sakaling hindi ka mapunta sa hospital or hindi ka punin ni Lord. In the future, ewan ko kung ilang years yung plan nyo, pero after ilang years, pwede mo kunin, may interest pa. So, saan ka pa, di ba? So, mamaya magtatayo kami ng booth ni Ate Jeff na pwede kayo mag-sign up. Lecture lang po. Pero, seriously, what will the sign up? Anong parang bakit tayo na, or yung mga tao na nasa paligid natin, bakit they are so willing to give thousands of pesos just to be assured na yung buhay nila ay gagaan, yung worry nila mawawala. Pero, totoo ba na mawawala yung worry mo? Hindi, di ba? Kasi we don't know the future. We don't know, sakaling nag-sign up ka ng death insurance, tapos magkasakit ka naman, o di ba? Hindi mo na pa rin makakuha yung sa death insurance or mag-sign up ka sa health insurance, pero hindi mo kinuha ka ni Lord, o di ba hindi mo rin makakuha yung ano mo. Pero, I'm not, hindi ko sinisiraan itong mga insurance na to, or yung mga these companies. But I am making a point that there is someone better, or someone that we can put our faith into much better. Some of these companies, parang ang selling point nila, yung brand nila. Uy, Sun Life, sikat na sa Canada. Sikat na sa buong mundo. Pagka dito ka nag-sign up, hindi ka mag-worry na malulugi ito. Or yung Prudential, sikat na sa UK, sa ibang bansa. Or iba pang mga companies. Hindi ka makikil dito. But how will we know? Yan din yung selling point ng ibang mga insurance companies na nag-fail na, nalugi. And some of them, their selling point is that, yun nga, sabi ko na, you can be assured. You don't need to worry. Whatever happens to you, mamatay ka man or magkasakit, we can compensate for that. So, yung mga pamilya mo, hindi na kailangan maglabas ng pera. So, what is that thing na causes this, the people who sign up for this, to commit to them? Ano kaya yung bagay? Bakit sila napapasign up? Kasi they have their faith. Diba? Nagtitiwala sila dun sa company na yun that if they sign up, they will be assured. They will have insurance for their life, for their health, so that their family can live worry-free. Yun nga yun. So, kung faith, diba, our theme this year is, Thy will be done, or Your will be done. What are we exercising? Pagka sinasabi natin, Lord, Your will be done. Yes, tama ko kayo, faith din. It's the same faith. When we say this, we are putting our faith not in ourselves, but in God. Madalas, karamihan sa atin, especially mga kabataan, sabihin, ay, bahala na si Batman. Pag may problema sa assignment, ay, bahala na si Batman. Pag kulang siya pamasahe pa uwi, para makapunta lang sa tropa, ay, bahala na si Batman. So, pag may problem sa office, ay, bahala na si Batman dyan. Basta, doctoring pa to, okay na to. Pag may problema sa bahay, ay, bahala na si Batman. When do we say, Lord, Ikaw na bahala sa love life ko? Lord, Ikaw na bahala sa anak ko sa ibang bansa or sa pamilya ko sa ibang bansa. Ito ang malupit. Lord, Ikaw na bahala for my month expenses. So Lord, allow me to book this flight para makapunta ako dito sa gusto kong destination, pinapangarap kong destination. So gagawin natin, hit mata, tapos click. Ayan, book na. So, that is a wrong way, how we exercise faith. Pero there are some good na you are entrusting God, entrusting your life to God, your love life to God, your family to God. Hindi po mali yun. Pero yung pag-click para sa piso sale, minsan mali na yun. Kasi we are given wisdom from God. God has given us in His Word how to manage our finances. So, minsan yung bahala na, parang may wrong connotation na sa atin. Parang mali na, parang negative na pagka sinabi mong bahala na. Kasi alam naman natin, yung word na bahala, it came from bathala or yung ancestral God natin na ginagamit ng mga animistic people na they worship yung mga nature, yung mga spirits. So, yun, no? Bahala na for bathala. So, the Bible tells us that we are to be wise with our finances, but there are times when we need it. Seems no possible way. We are putting our faith to someone whom we know and whom we can believe can do everything, even the impossible. So yun yung ibig sabihin natin minsan, when wala na tayong malapitan, wala na tayong makapitan, nasabi natin, Lord, bahala ka na. When everything seems to go wrong, you can say seriously, Lord, bahala ka na. And it is not wrong. In fact, the Bible encourages us to put our faith to God. We are saying, Lord, take control of my life. Because I don't know how. Lord, take control of my salary. Lord, take control of my baon. Or sinasabi ba natin, Lord, kaya ko na to. I can manage my own finances. Ikaw na bahala sa the rest, ako sa finances. Kailangan ko kasi mabili yung gusto ko. Kailangan ko kasi gastusin para sa mga pabayad ng bills. Trust me, I'm an accountant. Trust me, I'm an engineer. Parang yun yung sinasabi natin dito. Tapos sa katapusan, bawa na tayo sa utang. Anyari. Diba? Anyari ba eh. When we let Christ into our lives as our Lord and our personal Savior, we cannot say, Lord, sa'yo na love life ko, basta yung finances sa akin. Kumbaga 50-50 tayo. You can control this, I can control this. Hindi ganun. Pagka sinabi natin, Lord, I commit my life to you wholeheartedly. It means we are making Christ as our Lord. Kung sinabi natin, Lord, tagapangmangahala, Panginoon, hindi lang ng isang aspect, but buong buhay natin. That is through putting our faith to God. So how do we give to God? Should we just spend as much as we can? Yung mga gusto natin, mga kailangan bayaran, tapos yung mga barya, yung mga sobra, kay Lord na. Hindi po, di ba? Parang mali. It should not be because our giving reflect our love to others and our love for God. Our giving reflect our love to others and our love for God. When it comes to our giving, the Bible is very clear. Babalikan po natin yung passage natin. Makikita natin sa verse 6 to 9. Ito po. Remember this, whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly. And whoever sows generously will also reap generously. So napakalinaw. What we give, we sow. Kung ano ang tinanim natin, yun ang aanihin natin. If we give God 20 pesos, siguro maliit lang yan. Hindi naman ganun. Hindi ganun ang trust natin. Our God is generous. Pero, you get my point. What we sow, we also reap. Kung tayo ay nagtanim ng hatred, we also reap hatred. So how can we give thousands to these companies, mga insurance companies, or to these Meralco, PLDT, Globe? Pero binibigay natin sa Diyos yung pinatira, yung barya. Shouldn't it be the other way? Parang baliktad dapat. As Christians, as God's people, we should be, our priority should be God first, especially in our finances. When we don't prioritize God, diba, parang we are lacking faith. When we don't prioritize God, is it that we are exercising lack of faith? Parang hindi natin pinagkakatiwalaan ng Diyos. We don't prioritize God. We don't put God first in our life. Parang we put ourselves first. Kasi parang sa ibang nagtitiwala, or sa mga nakikita mo, ikaw nagtitiwala. Yan na po ang problema natin, mga tao. That we are nearsighted. Parang ako, pagka tinanggal ko sa salamin ko, wala akong makita. Everything is blurry. But when I took my glasses, I can see clearly. God is like that. He can see everything. Pero tayo, we are nearsighted. Wala tayong salamin. We cannot see everything. That's why some of us needs glasses to see what God is seeing. And because of we are able to see what God is seeing, we are able to put on the faith. And sometimes, lang sa atin, we cannot see what God is saying. Kaya, pinagkakatiwalaan na lang natin yung sarili natin, tsaka yung mga nakikita lang natin. Alam ko po na yung iba sa atin, especially yung mga kabataan, alam niya yung phrase na flex ko lang. Ano ba ibig sabihin nun sa mga millennials? Mga flex ko lang. Flex ko lang itong picture na to. Flex ko lang itong kaibigan ko. If we have faith in God, dapat we are flexing it. Ano po ba yung flexing it? Yung faith natin. Dapat pinapakita natin. Yung term ng pagkataan nyo yung pag-sabi, flex ko lang, or kita ko lang, or pagyabang ko lang. So, sabi nga si Paul, sa Philippians chapter 2, verse 12 to 13. Therefore, my dear friends, as you have always obeyed, not only in my presence, but how much more in my absence, continue to work out your salvation with fear and trembling, for it is God who works in you, to will and to act in order to fulfill His good purpose. So, mga millennials, akala nyo, bago to, no? Pero hindi. Si Paul lang nagpa-usa nito. Work out your salvation. Flex mo yung salvation, yung faith mo, flex mo lang yan. Parang he is saying that as believers, we should work out our salvation to show or to make evident our faith. Para ipapakita natin yung pananampalataya natin sa Diyos. And how do we work out our salvation? By doing good works. Kasi our faith to God is a result, doing good works is a result of our faith to God. And ito yung sinasabi ni Paul, na yung working out our salvation with fear and trembling, hindi po ito sinasabi nito na fear na matakot, but it is a fear of, parang you are in awe. Parang dahil sa sobrang, you are so happy that you have this faith. You are in awe of God's goodness. So, and verse 13 show us that for it is God who works in you to will and to act in order to fulfill His good purpose. When we put our faith to works and obey Him, we are doing His will and we act in order to fulfill His purpose. When we are flexing our faith, or pinapakita natin yung faith natin sa ibang tao, we are doing it. We are obeying God. And we are doing it in act so that we can fulfill God's purpose. And when we give to God generously, isn't it we are living by faith? Pagka binibigay natin yung ina-ask sa atin ng Diyos, 10% lang yung hinihingi sa atin. When ang tinatouch ka ni Lord, magbigay ng 20%, bigay mo 20%. When God is asking us, give 10%, dapat we are able to flex our faith to it. Kasi ang Diyos natin, Diyos na matapat. Kung tayo ay magbigay sa Kanya, God will reward us. Hindi ba mas magandang investment yung heavenly things instead of earthly things? If you can open your Bible sa Matthew chapter 6, verse 19 to 20, Jesus tells us that do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moths and vermin destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasure in heaven, where moths and vermin do not destroy, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Napakalinaw. Kung saan natin pinuput yung faith natin, kung saan natin pinuput yung treasure natin, andun yung heart natin. Kung yung heart mo nandun lang sa center sa crush mo, malamang yung treasure mo, yung crush mo yun. And you will prioritize that treasure. But if you prioritize God, you know that you are storing up things, heavenly things, where moth or thieves cannot break into this thing. We know that storing up treasures in heaven is a greater reward for us. So where do you invest your time, your money, or your faith? To buy sa mga big branded names, sa mga sikat na phone, Oppo, iPhone, or sa mga tabit, sikat, mga Nitro, or other things na branded. Or do you put your faith, your money, your time to the name above every other name, which is God? What we sow, we will also reap. Kung ano ang tinanim natin, yun din po ang ating ahanin. And verse 7 also tells us how we should give. God is not after our investment. Hindi po, wala pong pakialam ng Diyos kung magkano yung ibibigay natin. Kung ito man po ay 1 milyon, kung ito man po ay 20 pesos. But how much our hearts obey God? God is not after our investment, or how much is our investment. But He is after our hearts. What is our motive when we give? Kasi sabi dito sa Bible, we give what we sow what we reap. So kung ikaw magtatanim ng milyon, siguro aanin ka ng 2 milyon. Wrong motive po yun. Is it to become richer? That's why we give. Is it to bless our church? The passage tells us that when we give what is our hearts tells us. Not because Pastor Rodney or I tell you to give, but we should give the amount because God tells us to. Dahil sinasabi ng Diyos natin na magbigay tayo. Here we can also see God's heart. That He is a cheerful giver, loves a cheerful giver. makikita natin dito, verse 7, God loves a cheerful giver. Because our giving reflects our love to God and our love for others, that's why giving reflects who our Father is. So verse 10 to 12, makikita natin ito, and God is able to bless you abundantly, so that in all things, at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work. As it is written, they have freely scattered their gifts to the poor, righteousness endures forever. Now, he who supplies seed to the sower and bread for food will also supply and increase your store of seed, and will enlarge the harvest of your righteousness. You will be enriched in every way so that you can be generous on every occasion, and through us, your generosity will result in thanksgiving to God. Diba po? Napakalinaw dito. That our God is a loving God, and He will supply our every needs, our every bread. And makikita natin dito yung when we give, what will result? Righteousness. God will increase our store of seed, will enlarge our harvest of righteousness. That is investing in heavenly things. And sa Genesis pa lang, makikita natin doon that God created us in His image. Because of our God who is generous, dapat tayo din, mga anak niya, nagre-reflect yung generosity ng ating Diyos. Verse 8 to 11 shows kung sino ang Diyos natin. Makikita natin dito yung cause and effect that a generous God who blesses a person. And this person, in result, becomes also generous. And he is able to give, and you will be enriched in every way, to be generous in every way. Kung gaano man naging ka-generous ang Diyos sa iyo, you will also be generous. And that is what God has planned for us, intended for us. But because He is a generous and loving Father, we ought to be a generous and loving Father. Saan napupunta kapag tayo ay tumatanggap ng baon natin or ng sweldo natin? This is earth. Tinatago ba natin yung para sa Diyos, and then we can spend everything? Or we can spend everything and then yung tira sa Diyos? What if kung baon mo pa sa utang? And yun yung usually na problema. Ako ay isang OFW dati, and ako po ay napalayo sa Diyos. Amin ko po na hindi ko naging generous sa tithing ko, giving to God. At talagang wala akong binibigay kay Lord. So, nang nangyayari, the more I take from God, the more kulang pa ang sweldo ko. Pero nung natuto ako, uli ako magbigay sa Diyos, talagang yung ko is sobra-sobra pa. Sometimes, hindi na ako nakakapagbigay pa ako sa pamilya ko sa mga nasa ibang bansa pa. Kung gano'n ang thinking natin, that we prioritize God first, we should learn that God will never fail us. Hindi po makukulang ang Diyos sa atin. So where is our generosity? Nasa pagbigay lang ba ng likes or ng heart sa Facebook? Doon lang ba tayo madaling magbigay? Like, love, heart, smile. Our giving reflects our love to God, love for others. And naalala ko po yung invento sa akin, yung aking nasabi. There is this man, and God told him to push a very big boulder. So he tried to push it with God, he tried to push it, he pushed it very hard. Pero the boulder didn't move. siya. Kasi he's expecting to move this rock because sabi ng Diyos, Lord, I can move this. Dahil sabi mo, i-push ko to, I will push it. So, ano nangyari? Umano siya ni Lord, harap na si Lord. Medyo nahihiyak siya, Lord, I'm so sorry. Hindi ko na-move yung rock. Sabi ni Lord sa kanya, I did not told you to move the rock. I told you to push it. Sometimes ganun sa ating buhay. God is telling us not to make big changes, not to make big offering. Kasi ibigay lang natin kung ano para sa Diyos. In all our faith, God will help us for our finances. Kasi ibigay lang natin sa Diyos. Yun lang naman yung kinukunan sa atin. If we obey God, He will be faithful to us. And giving reflects our love to God and to others. Verse 13 to 15 po. Because of the service by which you have praised God for the obedience that accompanies your confession of the gospel of Christ and for your generosity in sharing them and with everyone else, and in their prayers for you their hearts will go out to you because of the surpassing grace God has given you. Thanks be to God for His indescribable gift. So we can see here that there's twofold when we do giving. Number one is we are able to help yung mga tao na nasa church. We are thankful na yung pastor natin is a working pastor, so hindi na kailangan mag-rely sa tithes and offering ng church. Pero there are churches that needs fundraising sa mga pastor nila. And ito po ang story ng namin, ng church namin sa Hong Kong. Na nakakalungkot kasi yung mga members hindi po naturuan magbigay. Kaya they only give barya-barya, pag $20 lang. Eh dahil po nawala ng trabaho yung pastor namin, na-stroke po siya, wala ng trabaho, eh hindi na po masustentuhan yung tirahan po sa Hong Kong. Eh alam naman po natin na napakamahal po ng isang buwan na renta sa Hong Kong, eh nasa almost 100,000 pesos po. Isang buwan lang po. Tapos 2 kwarto lang po yun. Na napakaliit. Ganun po kamahal ang tumira sa Hong Kong. And ganun po ang storya nitong pastor na nakakalungkot kasi the people, the members, don't learn how to give. Kaya nangyari, walang namang problema yung pastor, kung paano makastay doon sa church. And mahirap mabuhay yung isang church na walang pastor. And it's a very sad story that we could learn from it. That giving also helps the body of Christ, especially for these pastors who gave their life to minister to us. And kung hindi niyo po alam, today, this month is Pastor Appreciation Month. So we should be more appreciative of our pastor. And dito pong church namin na to, eh, nang mga problema ngayon. Because we also want to help them. Gusto namin pumunta doon, magtrabaho, so that the church will no longer need to give us salary. Pero ito po ang marahil na tinuturo sa mga miyembro ng mga simbahan na ito, na to learn how to give. I hope and I pray na hindi na mangyari sa atin po that God would allow something tragic to happen so that we can only learn to give. Kasi ang Diyos po natin ay magpagbigay. Kagaya po ng ating nabasa. And our gift through our service and our obedience to God. Sabi sa verse 14 po. And in their prayers for you, their hearts will go out to you because the surpassing grace God has given you. So it tells us that our giving is a service. Ito po ay isang serbisyo. Hindi po para sa ating mga kapwa, miyembro, but it's a service to God. It is a ministry po. And kung babasahin po natin, that itong ministry na to would result for people to give things to God. Doon sa mga nakakatanggap ng mga binibigay, pagiging generous to, it results to giving things to God. Marahil hindi natin nararamdaman kung saan napupunta yung tithes natin. Siguro we have to look around. We have very cold air, magandang simbahan, we can worship. We have very passionate nga ba mga young people natin, young pro? So it's a result of our giving things, of our giving our tithes and our offerings. So maraming sasabihin natin, Lord, konti lang naman ito pa, 20 pesos na ako, ang tithes ko. Siguro wala namang ganito tulong to kaya bubulsa na masahe in case of emergency. No, maliit man yan or malaki. We know that God is molding our hearts to obey. Sabi nga sa Samuel, to obey is better than sacrifice. God is not after our sacrifices. God is after our obedience. Verse 14 says that our obedience can result into other people's thanksgiving to God. So we can learn from this passage 3 things. We sow what we reap. Our giving reflects of who God is, who our Father is. And lastly, our giving gives service to our God, to our God. So, we should not fail to give. We give it cheerfully, wholeheartedly. We give it out of our obedience to our God, who is faithful and loving and generous. That's all. Father God, we are grateful for this time together. Salamat po. Pagkat ito po ay Diyos na matapat. Praying na kami po ay matutong mapagbigay sa mga biyaya ni Lord. Thank you, Lord, for how you have entrusted your life to